an example of evidence. The prompt that we're going to answer is, how do our minds affect our perception? I'm going to use a paragraph from The Magic of the Mind to find good evidence to use. Even if we are careful observers and take in a picture of some object or experience, it does not stay intact in memory. Other forces begin to change the original memory. Are we aware of our mind's distortions of our past experiences? In most cases, the answer is no. A lot of this paragraph could be useful, but I don't want to have a quote that long. What is the best part of this to use as a quote in our response? So if we look at it again, I'm looking for, how does our mind affect our perception? That is my prompt. That's the question I'm trying to answer. So if I look at this, I feel like this first part, even if we are careful observers and take in a picture of some object or experience, it does not stay intact in memory, is going to be the best part of this response, of this paragraph to use in my response. I feel like that is the most, the part that talks about the effect the most. Okay. Now that I've selected that information, but the rest of this is really good, so I may summarize part of it in my response when I get into that part. So when we are going to put that into a response, first we have to remember to P in our responses. First, we answer the prompt. Remember, my response was, how does it affect our memory? So here's my answer. One of the ways that our mind affects our visual perception is by changing our memories after they have been stored. That's my response to the prompt. Now I'm going to insert my evidence with a lead-in, such as, for example, or according to the author, or in this article it says. Don't forget your citation, because that's how we know where you got your information, especially since we know that it's not from your brain. And also don't forget your quotation marks. In the article, Magic of the Mind, it says, even if we are careful observers and take in a picture of some object or experience, it does not stay intact in memory. And that's from Loftus, page 32. So you can see I've got my citation here. And I also have my quote with a lead-in that kind of guides me into knowing that this is a quote from somebody else. Finally, we explain our evidence. Aim for at least 2 sentences of explanation per piece of evidence. This helps us really get an idea of why you're using this quote to support your point and how it supports your point. This means that once we store a memory, things change it, like the emotions we were feeling when we had the experience. Most of the times, we aren't even aware that our mind has changed the memory. So this is my explanation. Later in the article, it talks about how emotions have impact, so I remembered that from the article. And then we also have the idea that we aren't aware that our mind has changed the memory. So all of those things are part of my response on how how this piece of evidence supports my claim that memories change after they have been stored.